take the ball and wipe the sweat off his face and hand it to Draymond. Rondo, a curious cat.
Man. Vintage Steph Curry, first game back last night after missing a bunch of games with that sprained knee, doesn't miss a beat.
Nick, do the math. 32 feet, this don't add up for me.
No, it doesn't add up. Listen,
right? The three-point line is how far, Nick?
24-6?
Okay.
Depending on where it is, it bends.
Yes.
Listen, the play-by-play data says this 32 feet.
I give it at least 30.
32 feet.
I see 30.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's not. It's Seth. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a hell of a shot by Seth. He was unconscious just when he came into the game for the first time yesterday.
All right, finally, LeBron catching the alley-oop from the inbounds from Jeff Green.
Now, you think Ty Lue called this, or this is just all instincts of your man, LBJ?
I think that I don't think it was just instincts. I think LBJ did a little signal to the inbounder like
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, like, you, hey, like we do when we play, hey, outlet. What, why are you laughing? When we play...
Outlet or alley?
What? No, I'm just getting different things you shout on the court. Hey, outlet.
I need it.
What? That's what I was hollering at you when we were playing on the street courts in L.A. You kept missing me. I was wide open, cherry picking up. Man.
We're going to put this one in the Emmy room.
Yep.
Sticking with game one between the Cavs and Raptors. Round one, advantage Cleveland. Why? Well, LeBron did have a quiet triple-double, although he called the game probably one of the worst of the season for him, but also because the role players finally played a role. All except Kevin Love, who continues to struggle, finishing 3 for 13. LeBron credited his teammates, though, after the win.
We got 4 guys, left from our championship team, and that's myself, Kevin, JR, and Tristan. And then we got Kyle, who was a part of our finals, team last year. So we kind of hang our hats on our experience with our 5 guys, and then we just try to give it to all the rest of the guys, that hasn't been a part of the run that we've had. So, I think. Everybody kind of stepped up. The guys with the experience that have been here, and then, like I said, you sprinkle in, George Hill and Jeff Green was phenomenal today off the bench once again, and we're going to need that.
CC, how much are Kevin Love's struggles going to ultimately affect this team? I mean, can they work through it? Can they work past it if a couple guys here and there step up like they did last night?
I mean, this is the Cavs team, or a version of the Cavs team that we've seen before. Now, the names and everything have changed, but this is the only time we've seen LeBron where he didn't have to play spectacular for them to be able to win a game. They typically have gotten some bench support. Yeah, they got that from Tristan Thompson, and they got it from Jeff Green. Man, they need some starting support, shooting outside. JR and Cal Court, man, they showed up. They played the best basketball collectively. Those 4 players that we've probably seen all season. And they had to win in overtime. So if LeBron doesn't play at that level, which you have to expect every once in a while, where is Kevin Love and what he's going to do? Now, my expectation with Kevin Love, they're not real high. Like, I don't have it. Nick had high expectations for him in game number 1. They're trying to run a lot of sets to start the game through Kevin Love. But to me, it is what it is. He's not very athletic. All right, he is not a knockdown shooter. And to me, he don't look like he's going to take the initiative that he would take 20 shots. Like, he goes through a period, 5 or 6 minutes, where he likes to be aggressive. Late in the game where they had him isolated, a lot like Boston did, where they moved the ball in Philadelphia till they got the matchup. The Cavs did that for Love last night. He had DeMar DeRozan on him.
Take advantage.
He couldn't do nothing with him. So, no, I don't expect Kevin Love. That's why I expect the Cavs to continue to struggle. If Kevin Love starts playing at the all-star level, it might change my opinion on the Cavs and their ability to advance beyond the Eastern Conference Finals.
Listen, the reason they need Kevin Love to be better is Jeff Green's not going to go 4 for 4 very often. Like Jeff
was
Green,
ISO in Jeff Green.
Right, Jeff Green all of a sudden, he didn't miss a shot. He was 4 for 4 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That's the best game Jeff Green will have this series. Put it in the bank. Like, that's the best he will play. I know Kyle Korver says he was 5 of 12 from 3, and technically that's true. But he also had 2 toe on the line threes. So he was 7 for 14 from deep.
Yes.
Just 2 of them he only got 2 points for. Like, Kyle Korver might have 1 more game at that level in this series. JR, hot and cold like soup. Like, yeah, I mean, we don't know which JR we're going to get.
He was sensational.
Now, you know who I do feel like we can rely on in this series? Guy who probably should have played more, especially to start the 3rd quarter yesterday, Tristan Thompson. When Jonas Valanciunas was eating him up. Like, yes. Tristan Thompson came in. Ty Lue did some odd things last night. He put in Tristan Thompson right when Valanciunas was coming out of the game. I don't quite understand that. We have 15 years of data that LeBron plus 4 shooters is unguardable. At one point, he had out there in a critical moment in the fourth quarter, LeBron plus your 4 worst shooters. It was LeBron plus Tristan plus Jeff Green, Rodney Hood, and Jordan Clarkson. Like, what the hell lineup is that? I don't know, but they were able to win despite all of that. But that's not sustainable because Kevin Love has to be better. I said, you're right. Like, I had pegged LeBron's stat line almost to the number last night, but it almost gets erased because I said, Kevin Love, there's no chance, CC, Kevin Love is as bad in this series as he was in round 1. I guess maybe I was right, because he was actually worse. He wasn't as bad. He was worse. The worst game Kevin Love's had in the postseason.
The only reason why you were right was because
I was so wrong. Like, I was so wrong, like, it met me on the other side of it. He had trouble just grasping rebounds. There was a critical moment late in the game where he had a rebound, just rolls off his face and out of bounds.
Yes. That was before he got the foul called the elbow.
Exactly right. Like, I don't know how much that torn tendon is, or that strained tendon is bothering him in his left hand.
That don't help his jumping ability.
No, and it doesn't help. Like, he seems like a guy that's totally, his confidence is shattered. And, I mean, it just seems like a guy who is in his own head right now because he's better than what he's showing. Even if he's not what he was, he's better than their worst player.
We talked yesterday about the fact that the only way that you can really get him involved is just feed him the ball. And even if he's going to miss a bunch of shots, let him at least take a bunch of shots. Did you feel like they were starting to do that? I mean, all the shots he took were pretty much inefficient. But were they starting to do that a little bit and then sort of moved away from it?
I think they were trying to do that. They ran first play of the game for him like we thought they would. He wasn't able to take advantage. They ran third play of the game for him, wasn't able to take advantage. I thought Brent Barry, who, by the way, does an excellent job with the commentary. I think he's an excellent color commentator, made a good point. You want to get Kevin Love involved? Have it be in the flow of the offense, like on the three-pointer he hit. And I can say that specifically, the three-pointer he hit, because it was only the one. But that wasn't on a play drawn up for him, see. That was on, it was an extra pass. He shot fakes, hits it on the wing. Like, maybe try it like that, because running things for him early in the game right now have just been wasted possession.
Do you feel like he looks injured when you watch him play?
Yeah, his brain's injured. Yeah, if you can fracture your hand and it injure your brain, that's what's happening right now. All right? Let's not make excuses for him. There's no one in the history of basketball that's been affected by a non-shooting hand like Kevin Love. Like, you can't make excuses for him. He's not performing under gun. And it's just not that. The other things, like rebounding, he got a lot of rebounds. His body language, his inability to play with confidence on it. You don't think the other players know that? Like, I'm watching the TV. This is the worst Kevin Love that I've seen his whole career, and I've seen his whole career. Minnesota and in Cleveland. And don't you think that trickles down into the other players?
He seems like he's in his own head. I mean, he is absolutely in his own head, and he does seem like he's not even relieved when he makes a shot. It's almost like he feels like he's playing with a burden. And if I can see that, and Chris can see that, and you can see that, of course, like we've all worked around someone who doesn't feel like themselves, who feels like they're letting you down, and like sometimes that can spread. Like the only thing that'll fix this is 22 and 12. The only thing that'll fix this is 5 of 6 from 3. Like, he has to have a great game.
Yeah, I think we should get used to it. Because even if he did get 20 and 12, I guarantee you, I believe he's going to come back down to earth. So this might be closer to the new normal.
All right, let's take a break there. Coming up, is Kawhi Leonard forcing his way out of San Antonio? That's next on First Things First.